Let the record reflect, we've reconvened with all members present. Please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing after the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. Just want to ask for a moment of silence for Pamela Barba, Madison resident, who was killed in a hit-and-run accident on Green Village Road on June 28th. Our thoughts are with Ms. Barba's family and her many Madison friends during this very difficult time. Also, a moment of silence for Art Vespiano, a founding member and longtime leader of the Whippany River Watershed Action Committee. Truly dedicated a lot of his later life for watershed management and doing the right thing for the environment, who died on July 24th. And our thoughts are also with Madison longtime volunteers Frank and Barbara Benedict, whose son Ned died in an accident while overseas. So let's take a moment to reflect on those families. Thank you. We have a motion for the executive session minutes of June 24th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any council, or already discussed executive, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the motion for the regular meeting minutes of June 24th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Welcome all. We had a month in between meeting as we didn't have a first July meeting, and we will not have a second meeting in August. So our next meeting will be August 12th, and that will be it until we're all back to school. So then saying what happened to the summer. Just want to touch on a few things from going on, and most importantly is traffic safety. You know, in light of the recent pedestrian fatality, I want to just take a few minutes to share the steps that we are taking to make sure our town is safe as possible for our residents and all our visitors. We are committed to taking public safety very seriously. Our police department is the single largest line in our budget, with a $6.3 million annual budget. We also have a complete streets committee that's been in place for now well over a decade, started as a traffic calming committee whose mission is to review road projects for complete design, not just for vehicles, but also for bicyclists and pedestrians. The committee also reviews areas where safety concerns have arisen. And these are some of the actions that we have taken recently for traffic and pedestrian safety. You may have noticed, especially on the eastern end of Main Street, that we replaced the older Cobra Mercury vapor lights with brighter LED lights, providing a much better visibility. We've moved into using traffic calming curb bump outs. Originally on Lincoln Place, and now we have on Prospect and Greenwood, which really has slowed down traffic and also reduces the time that pedestrians are in an intersection or crossing the road. We've installed a number of bike lanes throughout the town, which helps slow down traffic, but also reminds drivers to share the road. We've added the radar speed signs, which alerts drivers of the speed. They've been on Rosedale and Greenwood, and effective to remind those drivers that they may be creeping up and going a little bit too fast. And we're adding one on Green Avenue, which as you head down towards Garfield, which has been a trouble intersection. We've installed the pedestrian actuated crosswalk alert signals at Greenwood and Britton, one of the busiest crosswalks with the two schools in that neighborhood, a playground, and also Greenwood and Rosedale, where pedestrians can hit the button to have the lights flash to alert a driver that they're in the road. And those are things that we've already done, and it's always a continuing job. As when it comes to risk management and safety, the job is never done, and so these are things we were moving forward with. Just this past spring, we engaged with Trans Options to launch Street Smart program in Madison. And as described in Trans Options website, if you look that up, You can find out more information about Street Smart, but the quick description is Street Smart is a public education, awareness, and behavioral change campaign that uses high visibility enforcement, education, and grassroots public awareness to address pedestrian safety issues. And while our commitment we had already in place to launch this program to come this fall, this tragedy has made it clear in this day of distracted, not only driving, but other distracted bicyclists, distracted pedestrians, this program will be invaluable to remind people to be alert. Annually, we, prior to opening school, review the vehicle and pedestrian safety around schools, and this year we'll have a detailed review of the Green Village Road corridor with 2 schools and a church. This is a road that needs extra attention. And I've asked Madison Police to have enhanced enforcement during the first weeks of school. And we are changing the report a traffic concern on the RoseNet Citizen Request Tracker to emphasize our broad look at roads and sidewalks, which is to report a traffic or pedestrian safety concern. So we can encourage residents to report and give input. And in addition to the Street Smart program, I've asked that we have a full marketing program to raise awareness of pedestrian safety, that we all use, and we'll use our social media and outreach platforms to spread the word. This will include Facebook, utility bill inserts, Nixle notifications, new page on RoseNet promoting pedestrian safety, and also highlighting the report a concern function. And all this will be managed with the Complete Streets Committee. So that's the things going on related to the safety of all of us. And shifting gears a little bit, I want to congratulate Mary Vaccarello of the clerk's office as the employee of the month of July. Her support after our deputy clerk retired was essential. Liz's sanity, which is a very important thing. So we thank Mary. If you see Mary in the clerk's office, please thank her. And a few other quick things I want to cover since it's been a month, but I won't cover a whole month of things, so don't panic here. Atlantic Health had a ribbon cutting for their new rehab center on Giralda Farms, and I want to thank Councilwoman Carmela Vitale for filling in for that the ribbon cutting there. It was a great event, and it's great to have them now open, ready to go in Madison. And Carmela was very busy while I was on vacation, as she also presented a proclamation to Veronica Jones, a longtime Madison resident who celebrated her 90th birthday, and sent a nice little thank you note thanking for the proclamation, and Carmela coming by with her usual dozen roses. And Veronica is also the mother of our former building code official, Steve Jones. And now we're going to do some team recognitions. And first, my wireless. Oh, is the wireless ready? There they are. All right. Is Andrea Podolsky here? Come on up. I'd like to put you on the spot for a second and welcome you to Madison.
Thank you so much.
Andrea is a new vice principal and athletic director at Madison High School, and so early in her tenure here, she gets to be up here as we recognize success of our athletic team. So welcome to Madison.
Thank you.
Want to just do a quick little background?
Sure, nothing like being put on the spot. So very happy to have joined Madison in the school, and as the director of athletics, I'm coming to you from Pascack Valley High School in Bergen County. I was a health, physical education, and girls basketball coach. Very, very excited to continue the long tradition of sports at Madison, and congratulations to all the athletes this evening.
Thank you. You handled that well. Okay, we have some members of the track team. Please come forward.
as part of the team.
So track, which is known pretty much as an individual sport, really takes a team effort because through practices and events, you push each other to excellence. And so we have some members here that have truly set the tone for track, including record-setting and award-winning members of the boys track team for an incredible year. School records were set in the indoor 4x200 and 4x400 and outdoor 4x400 and 4x100. The team were co-champions of the Liberty Division of the NJAC. And we had one member made first team all-county indoor track and 4 members make first team all-county outdoor track. So I want to congratulate you on a great season, and the whole council also, and all the residents of Madison really appreciate the hard work and your success. So what I'm going to ask you to do, since you saw what I do is I put people on the spot, is I want you to tell everyone your name, your event, and the records that you set this year, and yep, and where you want, if you just graduated, where you're headed off to, or what your plans are. That's optional. Okay.
I'm Nathaniel Erickson. I was part of a 4x1 team and a 4x2, and then.
And first team all county.
I'm Aditya Chandrasekhar. I was a part of the 4x4 team, the 4x4 team, the 4x2 team, and the 4x1 team with Nate and guys. And I'm going to TCNJ next year. And I was in the
First team all county.
Hi, I'm Trevor Klaczynski. I'm part of the 4x1 team, 4x2 team, and 4x4 team. And next year I'm going to be going to Scranton. And first team all county.
I'm Luke Roche. I was part of the 4x4 team, the 4x2 team, and the 4x1 team, and I'm going to TCNJ as well, and first team all county.
I'm Chase Drightline. I was part of the 4x4 team, first team all county, and I'm going to Catholic University.
Ooh.
Congratulations, well done. And we also had Aiden Matthews, so if one of you guys can see Aiden anytime, we'll have this for him. Baseball team, come forward. I'm going to do things a little different this time.
Pardon me? What are we doing with these?
I'm giving you each a few of them so you can hand them when they introduce themselves.
Okay. Got it.
Come up and hand these out.
We're helping them out. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Instead of keeping track of so many. Okay, I'm going to ask the council members to come forward also, and and this is a pretty good turnout for the middle of summertime. And so now you know the drill. You learned that from the track team, what we're going to do here. But I want to congratulate the members of the Madison High School Dodger varsity baseball team for achievement in winning the NJSI AA North 2 Group 2 sectional championship in the Northwest Jersey Athletic Conference Championship Liberty Division. And this is an extraordinary team effort, and is kind of capping off of a great season. All seasons we had teams from Madison High School here, so congratulations on your success. And so I have the council members here, and they're going to be helping me hand these out, so I don't have to keep track of everyone. So your name, where you are, if you just graduated, what your plans are, and then if you want to share your position on the team, that's would be helpful too.
Hi, I'm Andre Delacruz. I was a first baseman and pitcher, and I'm going to Quinnipiac University in the fall.
I'm Vincent Costa. I'm the starting shortstop, and I was first team all conference.
I'm Matthew Monahan. I was the starting third baseman, and I was the starter pitcher on the mound. I'm going to be going to County College next year, where I think I'm going to be playing.
My name's Jack Melvin. I'm a left-handed pitcher, and I'm going to be a senior this year. Yep.
I'm Ryan Canfield. I was the best backup right fielder in the county. I'll be going into my senior year of high school.
I'm Jack O'Haron. I was the backup third baseman and pitcher, and I will be a junior next year.
I'm AJ Gupta. I was a starting left fielder, and I'll be returning for my senior year at Madison High School.
I'm Brendan Mariani. I was a starting catcher, and I'm going to be a junior.
I'm Max Morales, and I was the backup second baseman for my boy Walt over here. And I'll be coming back as a senior.
I'm Walter Brownlee. I was the starting second baseman, and I'm going to Purdue University next year.
My name is Carter Shipley. I was the backup center fielder and a pitcher. I'm going to be a junior next year at Madison High School.
My name's Luca Evangelista, and I was the backup shortstop, and I'll be returning to Madison High School.
I just gave a random one, didn't I? How about that? Just okay. Are coaches here? Nope. Okay. So I do, before I send you back to your seats, if you want to recognize, well, John Costa is here, so we do have some of the coaches. Jay DeVergio, Pat Burns, John Costa, Stephen Coppola for their, and also Frank Dasty for their leadership and getting this team playing so well together. And Jack Flanagan is not here, but I want to thank him for his one foul ball during the seniors game that just missed my house. Went down my driveway, I believe, so it didn't cause any damage. So congratulations, and we'll see some of you here back next year. And for those off to college, best of luck. You do Madison so proud. Someone to get that. We're talking about the audit.
Run away. Good night. Thank you for coming. How'd you go, Kat? Thank you.
They might have gone.
Thank you all for coming.
What? Who are you looking for? William Hart and somebody May.
I gave them all to Johnny Costa. All right. Once again, great to recognize the great achievements of our student athletes in Madison and to recognize the dedicated people that come to a council meeting in the middle of summer. So on to reports from committees. Public Safety, Council President Bailey.
Thank you, Mayor. From the Fire Department. On Monday, July 8th at approximately 8:30 a.m., the Fire Department's trench rescue team responded to Pequannock for a trench rescue. Madison fighters are trained for this type of technical rescue along with Morristown and Cedar Knolls fire departments. Nobody else is, which is very interesting. So along with those agencies, they responded to this incident. It took approximately 3 hours using specialized equipment to remove the trapped worker and get him to the hospital. The worker did survive the collapse and was released later in the day from the hospital. It was a great team effort. 10 Madison firefighters completed a 16-hour stabilization and lifting course at the Morris County Fire Academy. The firefighters used a variety of specialized equipment and tools to learn how to safely lift buses off of cars, stabilize collapsing walls, and remove patients that are trapped in crushed vehicles. And then we want to let you know that the police and the fire department have begun the upgrading of their dispatch center. And the upgrades to the dispatch center began with the radio equipment and the special furniture being ordered and have arrived. And a temporary dispatch room was set up at the public safety complex the week of July 8th so that the main dispatch room could be gutted, rewired, and made ready for the upgrades. And they're on a schedule to be back up and running in the dispatch room by August 16th. In an effort to keep renovation costs down, a team of Borough employees stepped up to assist in the demolition and renovation work. And that, it's just incredible what they have accomplished, our team of Borough employees. The Borough has purchased material directly from suppliers and utilized the talents of some Borough employees to save approximately $15,000 in demolition and renovation costs and wiring work. And I particularly want to thank everyone who helped with this project, but especially the project leaders. I mean, they've spent a lot of long hours, midnight, they're burning the candle. Lieutenant Joe Longo, Chief Lou DeRosa, Construction Officer Russ Brown, and his assistant Jim Burke, and Russ Brown's daughter Shannon Brown. They've been really working hard to get this going and to save the borough lots of money. Thank you.
Thank you. And Finance Borough Clerk, Mrs. Vitale.
Thank you, Mayor. The annual audit. Council received the audit at our last council meeting in June. Tonight we're going to have a short discussion on this important document. Our auditor, Valerie Dolan of Nisavacia, is also here to answer any questions. We had a clean audit with only 2 minor comments. Council will vote on 2 resolutions this evening. The first is to accept the audit, and the second is to approve the corrective action plan. I'd like to thank the members of the audit committee, 2 of which are here tonight, Dave Luber and Tom Bittinger, and also Art Powell. It was a pleasure to sit and listen to a great amount of experience coming from these people. So we had a good meeting, and I think we got a lot out of it. The tax bills were mailed out this week. The tax collector's office worked quickly and got them in the mail and postmarked on July 17th. Payments received after the close of business on August 12th will be charged interest back to August 1st. The bills were mailed out later than anticipated due to delays on the state and county level. Residents are reminded that they can pay their property taxes online. If you have any questions, please call the tax collector's office at 973-593-3056. We want to thank you for your patience in getting this done. The annual asset review, the finance department is now busy with the annual insurance review. The staff confirms all vehicles, equipment, buildings, and other assets are properly reflected on the insurance schedules. This is a time-consuming but very important project. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Utilities, Mr. Rowe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, from the electric department, the new Butler building is almost complete. They still need to install the electrical service and are in the process of ordering the lights for the inside. Second, the summer help, that's Tyler McKinnon and Ryan Bagley have been doing a great job painting the light poles downtown. And last, on July 9th, the Rich Tree Service started line clearance for electrical wires. This work is done in an effort to try to minimize any damage to our electrical system from falling tree limbs and helps us maintain the reliability of the system. And from the water department, the new 8-inch water main project on Vinyl Place was completed with a tie-in and 2 new valves installed on Madison Ave. The water department installed a new service and meter pit for the Hartley Dodge Memorial left side irrigation system. So in the future, we will no longer be applying softened water to our lawn, apparently. And finally, the department decommissioned the old water service on Madison Avenue for Drew University. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works and Engineering, Ms. Byrne.
Thank you, Mayor. The engineering report for tonight, Cifelli & Son Construction has completed curb, sidewalk, ramp, tree removal, and retaining wall on the state-funded Greenwood Avenue reconstruction. Mill and overlay resurfacing work is scheduled for the week of August 5th. Joe Med has completed the water main work on Vinyl, as Mr. Rose suggested. Miscellaneous sidewalk replacement projects were also completed. The downtown apron replacements were completed. The contractor indicates resurfacing work will occur over the next 2 weeks. Funding requests were received by NJDOT for the Burnett Road prior to the July 19th deadline. And then MBT General Contracting completed the floor slab, structural steel, roofing, and siding on the electric storage building. And finally, they installed a new boiler system at the Museum of Early Trades and Crafts this week, so we will have an uninterrupted winter heating season. Thank you, Mayor.
Very much. And Community Affairs, Mr. Hoover.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Normally, when we receive reports from the department heads, we, as council people, edit them. But in this case, mine's going to be a little bit long because I was asked to talk about some of these things. So please forgive me. Coordination for the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee. Coordination through the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee resulted in pruning and mulching of gardens around Rexford Tucker, securing a computer for internet access, connection to internet being researched right now, and assessment of sidewalk safety around Rexford Tucker apartments, securing 2 master gardeners to volunteer on a team basis to plan further outside work. Research continues on a telephone reassurance program and possible buddy system calling program for inbound seniors. At the Senior Center, pickleball has been staying strong with 12 to 14 players each day. The group is, I don't know how they did it in this heat. The group is very active and always looking for things to do around town, and the idea of a new badminton program is offered free on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 9 a.m. The Director of Business Development and Downtown Development Commission, please visit the Farmers Market located at Central Avenue between Cook and Main from 2 to 7 every Thursday through October 24th. In addition to the great lineup of vendors, the market features weekly live musical performances. Bottle Hill Day is scheduled for Saturday, October 5th. Bottle Hill Day sponsorship and application packets are now available on RoseNet. The METC, the Museum Downtown Concert Series, sponsored by the DDC, is in full swing. This event is free. Bring your family, a picnic, check out the exhibits at METC, and enjoy a night of great music. The next concert will be held on Friday, July 26th, and will feature Bryn Stanley. Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is planning an August sidewalk sales days for Wednesday, August 22nd through Saturday, August 24th. Restaurant Week is something new, is being planned for Saturday, October 5th through Sunday, October 13th in partnership with the Downtown Development Commission. The 2019 holiday ornament design for 2019 will be of the Museum of Early Trades and Crafts. Happy hour is this Wednesday, July 24th from 5 to 7 at Shanghai Jazz. The July 2nd board meeting is rescheduled to July 9th to the 4th of July because of the 4th of July holiday. There'll be no focus meeting on July 3rd. That's passed. The Museum of Early Trades and Crafts, a new boiler is being installed, as Maureen suggested. The METC management wants to express its appreciation to the assistance of the Building Department, Public Works, and Bob Vogel. The museum is formulating a disaster preparedness recovery emergency plan, a medical and collection conservation plan for the building. As part of this, the staff will be trained in CPR through the Madison Ambulance Corps. The Downtown Concert Series, in collaboration with the DDC, continues on Friday, July 6th with Bryn Stanley. MACA has added 5 members to his expanded board and elected new officers. The Madison Community Arts Center. The committee for the first MACA fundraiser, Madison Swings, met twice. The event will be held at the junior school on Saturday, September 21st at 8 p.m. The event will feature many musical residents of Madison, including Jerry Vezza, David Delavan, Cara Cooper, and Tom Selwood. It will also feature Broadway legend Gay Willis. Tickets will be available for the concert only or the concert and an after-performance reception at the Arts Center. Upcoming events. Quindianos Unidos Pro Colombia held their first fundraising event on Saturday, July 20th. It was well attended, and there will be 3 more throughout the fall. Madison Spotlight Kids will stage their next musical, The Addams Family, on August 1st through the 4th. Healthy Italia will once again hold their white event on Saturday, September 7th. Children's Theater, Gracie the Pirate, Thursday, November 7th at 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Theater, The Flip Side, improvisational troupe on Saturday, November 9th at 8 p.m. And a holiday pottery exhibit from December 12th to 15th. The Recreation Advisory Committee. The committee has issued to its members a draft of the revised user fees for their vote. They're still waiting for the results. From the Director of Recreation, despite some very challenging weather, they served 19 groups across 13 fields. They would like to thank everyone involved for the flexibility, communication, and cooperation. The fall schedule has been generated with the primary fall organizations that will be officially begun on Monday, August 5th. Remaining times have been opened up to renters and other secondary groups. They will once again host the NJSIAA Field Hockey Tournament at the MRC on Saturday, August 24th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at both MRC fields. MHS Field Hockey will participate. Grass field conditions have been significantly improved throughout the borough, despite the record rainfall in May. We were able to rest 3 grass fields this spring, and we aim to rest at least 2 more this fall. The Nature Nuts program, almost done, is in the midst of its 42nd season. Now for this year, program participants will be visited at the Madison Community House by staff from the Turtleback Zoo for a special presentation. The Mayor's Wellness Campaign. The fitness crawl is in preliminary planning for the end of September, early October. They will solidify the plans by next week. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And Health, Ms. Cohen.
Thank you, Mayor. From the Madison Health Department, there will be a comprehensive blood screening held at the Health Department on Wednesday, September 25th, starting at 8 a.m. It is a blood test that includes complete blood count, glucose, lipid panel, and blood pressure check. Appointments are required. Please call the Health Department at 973-593-3079. Flu dates are being scheduled for the fall, and exact dates will be announced shortly. From MASA, 22 metal signs were requested and are being produced. These will be placed in public areas, advising that the area is smoke, vape, alcohol, and substance-free. MASA is working with the schools as to where they should be placed on BOE properties as well. MASA, the Madison Chatham Coalition, and Municipal Alliance Committee of the Chathams are reaching out to key stakeholders and will be conducting a community needs assessment around substance abuse. The Hope One van will be at the Madison Pool on August 15th. This van brings a team of specialists to offer support for those struggling with addiction and mental health issues. And finally, the Madison Education Foundation has reached out to MASA concerning expanding the mindfulness skills courses to more of the borough schools. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Communications and petitions.
None received, Mayor.
Now we're on to our first of 2 invitations for discussion. Again, this one is limited to our agenda items and also the resolutions on the consent agenda. Ordinances will have hearings. You can comment on the ordinances when we come up with a hearing. So our agenda discussion for today is the 2019 audit. The second item has been pushed back, hopefully for the August 12th meeting, so the board and committee task force update is no longer on the agenda. Let me just go quickly through the consent agenda so you know what's in it when that comes up and if you want to comment on it. Resolution 214, purchase of new unused electric utility electronic AMI system revenue meters and water utility electronic system meter module from Byram Laboratories, and this is a contract for $258,000 and funded through ordinances 10 and 11, 2018. Resolution 215 is renewing liquor license for Anna Divine Liquor, and it's an inactive retail license. 216 is approving place-to-place transfer of a plenary retail consumption license for 54 Main, and this would be a step towards enabling them to have sidewalk dining. 217, resolution accepting the 2018 audit. You'll be hearing about that shortly. 218 is the corrective action plan. Again, for the audit, you'll be hearing about that. Sorry, I should have tabbed some of these. 219 is authorizing a special event permit for public parking spaces for the Torrey J. Sabatini PTO for a fundraising event on September 13th in the parking lots. 220 is approving raffle licenses for Grace Episcopal Church. 221 is a raffle for Torrey J. 222 is authorizing change order and final payment to Micropay for the roadway crack sealing improvements, and that's increasing the amount, which originally was $70,000 to $85,000, so it's increasing Resolution 95 for the additional $15,000 for the additional work that was done. Resolution 223 is confirming payment number 4 to MBT Contracting LLC for Madison Electric Storage Building Project, and this was funded through the ordinances 3, 2015 and 37, 2018 for the amount of $55,000. Resolution 224, purchase of pickup truck and accessories for the water department, and this was funded through ordinance 29 and not to exceed $53,000. 225, purchase of pickup truck and accessories for the roads department. This was also funded through resolution or ordinance 28, and this is not to exceed $39,500. I'm rounding off a little bit. Resolution 226, purchase of public works department vehicle under Educational Services Commission for the amount of $36,580, and this is funded through, I forgot to highlight it, available operating budget. Thank you. Resolution 227, endorsing acceptance of municipal right-of-way known as Meadow Court. This is a new little cul-de-sac off of Shunpike. Resolution 228, releasing the performance bond for historic homes for the Meadow Court, as I just mentioned. Resolution 229, reduction restoration bond to 4 Giralda Farms, and this is the Atlantic Health property, reducing it by $150,000, or to be reduced to $20,000 from $150,000. Resolution 230, purchase of sidewalk sweeper for downtown. This is funded through ordinance 33, 2019, and for the amount of $41,000. 231, approving raffle license for the Borough Orchestra of New Jersey. Resolution 232, authorizing purchase of fiber installation and connection to Rose Hall for the amount of $24,600, funded through ordinance 36, 2019. Ordinance 233, appointing Dawn Algier for the position of acting municipal court administrator at a salary of $75,000. She will become the court administrator December 1st, 2019, at a salary of $90,000. Resolution 234, ratifying the Madison Chatham Joint Meeting Voucher Register dated July 11th. This is typically done at the joint meeting, but there was not enough Chatham members to conduct the meeting, so we are doing it tonight. Resolution 235 is authorizing the chamber sidewalk sales on August 22nd through the 24th. Resolution 236 is approving the insertion of an item of revenue in the budget year 2019, and this is for a MASA grant, so they can spend the money in the current funding year. So those are the resolutions you may comment on, or the audit. Anyone wishing to comment those items, please step forward, state your name, your address, and keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. They'll give you a 1-minute grace period. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close this part of the meeting. And we move on to our agenda item, 2019 audit. Our CFO, Jim Burnett. Our auditor, Val Dolan, who came from the dark end of the county to the town where we have the power up and running.
Thank you, Mayor. Council received the packet of the audit, as Councilwoman Vitale explained this evening. We want to be able to answer any questions that you have on the audit. The audit committee and Councilwoman Vitale went through it with myself and Administrator Cody and Valerie Dolan, our auditor, answered questions. Pretty standard, no issues. Annually, as a ministerial action as required by the state, the council should pass a resolution authorizing the affidavit of certification that you signed it, that you've read and looked at the audit. In addition to that, there's a corrective action plan. Typically at the end of any audit, any municipal audit, there are recommendations, and we have two this year. One is the one that we continue to have, which is the segregation of duties. And that is one that many municipalities across the state have. The situation or issue is that we have multiple departments that collect revenue, and the preferred method would be to have a single pay window where you went, paid for whatever it is that you needed, took that receipt, and then went to the department and picked up your building permit, picked up your parking permit, or what have you. And because our buildings and multiple departments are multiple locations, it's not feasible for us to have that in a financially feasible way to have staff at all of those that act as that function. So we have additional internal controls in terms of checking cash revenue in, revenue out, and are able to confirm and keep an eye on that. But that is one of the issues that will continue to be a note on the audit. The second was a payroll agency account, which is an account that we use. We put money into it to process the payroll, and the money goes out, and we need to do some balancing journal entries. That's already been accomplished. So one item is an item that we acknowledge, but we won't be addressing. The other is one that's already been addressed. So with that, I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jim. That was great. The issue of segregation of duties comes up every year, okay? My little ears are kind of tired of hearing it, and I'm just wondering if there's any way that we can get the process that we have in place, which we think is adequate, to suffice and not have that comment put in the audit again? Or is it some regulation somewhere that says you have to put it in there?
Well, we've done everything that we can, and we've taken a number of actions to reduce the exposure. But from the auditor's standpoint, we don't clear the bar that is the standard. But as I said, there are hundreds of municipalities that don't clear that bar. So it'll be a continuing note in there, and there's really nothing that we can do to not have it in there. But it's important because 2 years from now, 5 years from now, there'll be different members on council, and it's important to talk about that potential small exposure. As a CFO, my role and responsibility is internal controls, to make sure that we have enough controls in place that we're managing the finances of the borough in a fiscally responsible way. And so by having that comment in there, even though it's there every year, it's still appropriate to at least hear that it's there.
Maureen?
Is this potentially something that the renovation of the East Wing could possibly take?
No, we'd still have... You
still had the police and fire,
You have the health department, you have, building, people going up, and, it's not really the capacity of the building, it's the way we do, the nature of business with multiple buildings.
Pat? Yeah, I guess to put a sharp point on it, what would it cost us if we really wanted to comply with this? Do we have any idea?
Oh, Pat, that's a good question. I'd have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
I'd have to have staff in every building that would act as a centralized cashier.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful if we had that number, because then people would understand what the trade-off is between what we have and what it would really cost us to resolve this one issue, which even the auditor, I think, acknowledges that it's a relatively minor point, and it's a common issue across the state of New Jersey.
So I would say we have 3 buildings that we would need that centralized cashier function at. So if you assumed the person was an office assistant at $40,000 with all the benefits that they would receive, a total of $70,000 times 3, I think over $200,000 is a reasonable estimate off the top of my CFO head to use to reduce and remove that item from the findings.
So it's a rather large hammer to hit a small issue with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Especially given the fact that the vast majority of the money that we're handling is check, not cash, so or direct payment ACH.
Direct payment.
Yep. Any other questions? Val, you need to add anything, or? Oh, get to that microphone. Yep.
On the segregation of duties issue, because we do have this in numerous. The other issue, when you look at it, when you're putting a dollar and cents to it, the other issue really becomes the service that you provide to your residents. Because in reality, you could put one central cashier somewhere, but then you would have your residents up and down stairs, you'd have residents back and forth. And is that really, for the comment that the minor in nature, that's the other piece of the puzzle that you sometimes want to consider, is that something you want to put to your residents, considering that they want to go to the building office and get their building permit, and they have to go to the building office, fill out all of the forms, find out how much the permit is, go to another location, pay, go back, show they paid to get their building permits. It's not, which is why most municipalities operate with the take this recommendation and let it go into the report going forward. But I do want to say that it was an actual very, very good, clean audit, and the finances are in fantastic shape this year. As you all know, when you went to build your 19 budget, you had a lot of information and a lot of good things that you could do for your residents with the way the operations was run this year. So kudos to your finance office and your budget and your planning to keep track of where you're at.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so we have resolutions 217 and which is the accepting the audit, and 2018 approving the corrective. So thank you very much, and another great year.
Can I just make a
Yes.
comment? There's 2 people here that sat with Valerie, and there are 2 other people from Nisavagia. Dave Luber and Tom Bittinger, and Art Powell was there, but these guys are invaluable. They're giving up their volunteer time. They know the audit probably better than any one of us. They come with a long line of experience, and they ask the greatest questions that really make you stop and think. So I know we had a lot of back and forth during that meeting, and it was good. So I want to say thank you to these 2 at least, because it's very much appreciated. And they've been here since the beginning of the audit committee was originated. So thank you.
And not every municipality has an audit committee. I think it's probably
75 municipalities and probably 3.
so another kudos for so great management here. All right, we're moving on to ordinances for hearing. Will the clerk please read the statement?
Ordinance is scheduled for a hearing, were introduced by title and passed on first reading at a regular meeting of the council held Monday, June the 24th, 2019, or were posted and filed according to law, and copies were made available to the general public requesting same.
Just so the public is aware, and will come up when we get to the second ordinance here, is all the ones related to general capital will have a single hearing, so 28, 30, 33, 34, 35, and 36 will be part of a combined hearing. But I will ask, I call up the ordinance for second reading, the clerk to read said ordinance by title, Ordinance 27, 2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison amending Chapter 134 of the Borough Code entitled Parking Lots.
I open the hearing for Ordinance 27. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close the hearing.
Mayor, I move Ordinance 27-2019.
I second the motion.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
I declare ordinance 27-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. I now will call up the 6 other ordinances. So by title, first, ordinance 28-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $142,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of a mower, truck, and accessories for the Department of Public Works.
Ordinance 30-2019.
Ordinance 29.
It's jumping
What about
around.
29?
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $40,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund to replace garage doors at the Public Works garage.
I see what.
And ordinance 33-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $75,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of a sidewalk sweeper and accessories for the Department of Public Works.
Ordinance 34-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $110,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund for the Department of Public Works Recycling Center project.
Ordinance 35-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $10,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of body armor for the police department.
And ordinance 36-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $75,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of security cameras and enhancements.
I open the hearing for ordinances 28, 30, 33, 34, 35, and 36. Anyone wishing to comment on any of those ordinances, please step forward. Seeing none, I close the hearing. May I have a motion for ordinance 28, 2019, which is appropriate $142,000 from general corporate capital for mower, truck, and accessories for public works?
Mayor, I move ordinance 28-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
I declare ordinance 28-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice of it in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. I now ask for a motion on ordinance 30-2019, ordinance appropriating $40,000 general capital to replace garage doors at Public Works Department.
Mayor, I move ordinance 30-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
I declare ordinance 30-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. I now call up ask for a motion on ordinance 33-2019, ordinance appropriating $75,000 from general capital for a purchase of sidewalk sweeper and accessories for public works.
Mayor, I move ordinance 33-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
I declare ordinance 33-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice there in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. Ordinance 34-2019, ordinance appropriating $110,000 general capital for Public Works Recycling Center project. May I have a motion for that one?
Mayor, I move ordinance 34-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
I declare ordinance 34-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. Ordinance 35-2019, ordinance appropriating $10,000 in general capital for the purchase of body armor for the police department. May I have a motion for ordinance 35?
Mayor, I move ordinance 35-2019.
I second the motion.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
I declare ordinance 35-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. Ordinance 36-2019, ordinance Borough of Madison appropriating $75,000 general capital improvement fund for the purchase of security cameras and enhancements. May I have a motion for that ordinance?
Mayor, I move ordinance 36-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
I declare ordinance 36-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. And now I call up ordinance 29-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $70,000 from the Water Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of a truck and accessories for the Water Department.
I open the hearing for ordinance 29. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close the hearing.
Mayor, I move ordinance 29-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
I declare ordinance 28-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. Ordinance 31-2019. Yep.
31, there we go. Ordinance of the Borough of Madison amending Chapter 185-32 of the Borough Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Schedule 4, Time Limit Parking.
I open hearing for ordinance 31. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close the hearing.
Mayor, I move ordinance 31-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion?
Just really quickly, I think what this does is it's going to improve, it's going to extend the amount of time that you can park downtown, and I think it's really going to help people come downtown, shop downtown, eat downtown. I think it's a very good new walk in the right direction.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Now I'll
roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
I declare ordinance 31-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. Ordinance 32-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison amending Chapter 195, Article 5 of the Borough Code entitled Land Development, Ordinance of the Borough of Madison, to amend the zoning map to include Block 2801, Lot 5, which is 41 Kings Road, in the CBD 1 Zone District.
I open hearing for ordinance 32-2019. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close the hearing.
Mayor, I move ordinance 32-2019.
Second.
Council discussion. This was reviewed by the planning board and was deemed consistent with the master plan, and also noted that it was an actual typo that had this in the wrong zone to begin with. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
I declare ordinance 32-2019 adopted and finally passed, and ask the clerk to publish notice thereof in the newspaper and file the ordinance in accordance with the law. So now we're on to the second for invitation for discussion. This is when you may come up and comment on any topic. Again, state your name, your address, write the same on the board, and try to keep your comments to 3 minutes, but I'll give you a 1 minute grace period and stop you at 4. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close this part of the meeting. And we go to introduction of ordinances. As mentioned before, ordinances 37 and 38 will be coming back at a later date, or those numbers probably be retired with new numbers. And so ordinance, I'd like to read the statement first. Yeah.
Ordinance is scheduled for hearing. We'll have a hearing date set for Monday, August the 12th, 2019. All will be published in the Madison Eagle, posted on the bulletin board, and made available to members of the public requesting copies.
I call up ordinances for first reading and ask the Borough Clerk to read said ordinances by title. Ordinance 39-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $240,000 from the General Capital Improvement Fund for additional 2019 mill and overlay projects.
Mayor, I move ordinance 39-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
Ordinance 40-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $125,000 from the Electric Capital Improvement Fund for the purchase of an individual rack storage system, electrical service, and LED lighting system and related materials.
Mr. Mayor, I move ordinance 40-2019.
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call vote?
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Mrs. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
I believe it's industrial, not individual, but yes.
Yep.
And Ms.
Right.
Coe?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 41-2019.
Ordinance of the Borough of Madison appropriating $200,000 from the Water Utility Capital Fund Reserve and $200,000 from the Electric Capital Fund Reserve for automated meter reading and for the purchase of utility meters and accessories.
Mr. Mayor, I move ordinance 41-2019.
Second.
Council discussion? Roll call vote?
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, consent agenda resolutions. Will the clerk please read the statement?
Consent agenda resolutions will be enacted with a single motion. Any resolution requiring expenditure is supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any resolution requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All resolutions will be reflected on the minutes.
Mayor, I move Resolution 214-2019 through Resolution 236-2019.
A second.
Any discussion or any that need to be pulled? Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Coe?
Yes.
There is no unfinished business. Approval of vouchers. Will the clerk please read the voucher registry?
Current fund, $4,394,059.55. General Capital Fund, $832,885.17. The Electric Operating Fund, $518,230.37. The Electric Capital Fund, $93,866.75. Water Operating Fund, $96,829.58. Water Capital Fund, $1,208.76. The Trust, $37,290.97. Totals $5,974,371.15.
Mayor, I move approval of the vouchers.
A second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Mrs. Vitale?
Yes.
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Ms. Byrne?
Yes.
Mr. Hoover?
Yes.
Yes.
There's no new business.
Mayor, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well done. Thank you all, and we'll see you on the 12th.
Adam, you were eloquent.
Yep.
I tried. Another win. Another win.
Was there no meeting on Monday night for the
notice?
So what happened was we all were there, but there weren't enough people. Only one person.
Actually, there was no meeting.
No, there was no meeting.
Okay.
No.
Okay.